Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait until you're free.
Like 99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
It was very casual. We were just kind of walking off the field, and he was like, "So what you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna come back next year." He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go to Atlanta." And I was like, "Yes, sir. Let's make it happen."
We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama, whole state of Alabama, whole state of Alabama. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. We're from Tennessee. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama, whole state of Alabama, whole state of Alabama. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. We're from Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
And I am Gabriel.
Is that it? Is that all
What's
you
that?
are?
If I was to list it off, we'd use our whole time window listing off my nicknames.
It'd
So
be
right
almost
now,
as long as that intro.
I'm not. I am Gabriel, and everyone else can exclaim when whatever nickname they would like to call me.
I told you guys it's going to be a long intro. But, dude, what an intro. What an epic intro. This is your Talkin Vols post-game show 2.0. Nobody's here. Nobody's in the chat watching because they're all thinking, oh, here's the notification. Boogie's acting like a 12-year-old and playing video games. I'm not going to go watch it. So it's up to you guys in the chat to grow this thing. Smash that thumbs up. Share it out. Let people know that we are live. This is your post-game show 2.0 because last night was kind of cool, honestly. It was kind of cool because last night we didn't really talk about football. It was a freaking 90-minute celebration with me, Dauber Snake, and about 1,500 of our closest friends. And what a great time, man. What an epic stream last night. Me and Gabe were talking right before Dauber jumped on, before we went live. We were kind of laughing because we both did the same thing last night. After the live stream, we both went to Twitter and just scrolled Twitter all night long.
All
night long.
All night long.
Watching
Woke
them
up
rip
this
the
morning.
goalpost down. Dude, listening to Dixieland Delight as the goalpost came down. And just a little side note personal story. And yeah, I may get emotional with this story. It's Dauber's talked about it multiple times. We had a mutual friend that's no longer with us, and that's who I took in my first game with. And there's just this funny story of us, man, years ago, and we were going fishing, and I'm driving my little pickup truck at the time, not a pot to piss in, absolutely no money. And me and Chris driving down the road listening to Dixieland Delight, and it says, one arm on the wheel, got the other on your lover. And we had not known each other very long at the time. And when that line hit, I just put my arm around him and just looked at him and kept on cruising. And that was like an inside joke. So to see Tennessee in the streak, to see the goalpost come down and that song playing, man, it just gives me chills all over my arm to think about it, man. Just an epic night. I got a great clip from Twitter that we're going to show coming up here in just a second. But, Dauber, what was your favorite clip? You're scrolling through Twitter. One of the funny things is a dude that I know locally, he's involved in the wrestling scene in the Tri-Cities area, and the broadcast zooms in, and I just see his face trotting the goalpost out of Neyland Stadium. And it's like, what's your favorite clip from Twitter last night?
I tell you, ran across it on our drive back from Atlanta today. I can't remember who it was, but one of the I think local news guys in Knoxville was saying, post your reaction videos or your celebration pics. So I threw that up on the Facebook group just a little bit ago. It was so cool to scroll through that and see, everybody with a cell phone in their house, jumping around, running, doing laps around the living room. Jumping up, hugging people. We talked about it the other day, Boogie. You and I we're in Neyland when we broke the streak against Florida. And here we are, grown men, jumping around, hugging dudes that we don't know from Adam. Like they're our best buddy. And it's just, I can imagine how many hugs were given last night to complete strangers. It's just, I've still... You talked about not coming down from the LSU game last week. It's going to take a while for this to kind of fade into not being elated about this game.
What about you, Gabe? What was your favorite clip? Somebody in the chat there mentioned one that I'm going to share it here in just a second. What was your favorite clip you saw on Twitter last night or this morning?
There were so many. Man, I love watching the clips of Josh Heupel in the locker room celebrating with his boys. I will say, though, I love the troll clips from – all right. the video that Alabama did, the hot video with Henry Toto narrating it and saying it's not personal, it's just business. And then Princeton Fant in the locker room, somebody put a camera on him. He said, it's not personal. It's just – or he was like, it's just business. That's all it is. And then he did the Henry Toto celebration where he's like straightening his tie or whatever. I was like, man, doesn't that feel good? Henry Toto left Tennessee, went to Alabama. I know there's some stuff we don't know about that scenario, but went to Alabama, still couldn't win in Neyland. How about that, man? I loved watching that. I mean, there's so many, but God, I mean, some of the some of the like point of views from people that were at the watch party. You know, the broadcast is about 20 seconds behind, so seeing all the people over there, you know, the fireworks went off before it even showed that the kick happened, so everyone already knew that Tennessee won. And just to watch that, I mean, it's just such a great, it's so great. I don't know, a lot of clips though.
There you go. There's mine. That was our live reaction to the field goal going through or at the end. And then, yes, I lit up a cigar, not immediately after the game, because right after the game, I jumped on here and hung out.
We got work to do. Mm-hmm. We got work to do.
1,500 of our closest friends. But then we jumped outside and kept the night rolling after we got offline and fired up a cigar, had a couple more drinks, and just talked about how good it feels to be back.
That's what relevant. We're going to get into that in just a second. You know what? I just saw those pictures right before we went live, and I started to comment and say, I don't know, Dauber, I'm not rich enough to have a cameraman follow me around and record my celebrations like you. But maybe one day, if this channel gets big enough, I will have a camera crew that follows me around on the regular and keeps track of my celebrations. Look, let's we got 412 people watching live. We got to do better than that. This is the post game show 2.0. So everybody take 2 seconds. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that share button. Here's the deal. We're a ways away. If we get to 1,000 viewers, I know that's a lot. It sounds absolutely crazy. We get to 1,000 viewers, I'll give away 5 Buck Family shirts. 5 of them.
Wow.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. And tonight is your last opportunity to get the Buck Family shirt. You know, I told you guys last night was going to be the last night. Somebody asked for an extension. They wanted an extra week. I said, I'll tell you what. I will give you an extra day. So as soon as we go off air, these shirts right here, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The Buck Family shirts gone forever. So if you guys get to 1,000 viewers in this chat, I will give away 5 of them. 5 of them tonight. I'm nuts. I've lost my mind. I hope a lot of super chats come in to pay for that. So the key is hit that share button. Share it out on Twitter. Share it out on Facebook, Instagram. Share it to your friends. You got a buddy that's a Tennessee fan. Send him a text with the link and say, hey, drop in on this show. You'll dig it. You'll enjoy it. But again, if you just want to pick one up before the end of the stream, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That's where you can get that. Also, I want to show this one. This is my favorite clip. I just actually saw it this morning. Here you go. Leonard Little,
I was about to
Jamal Lewis, Al Wilson, and Carl Pickens watching the final kick. Here it is. You guys enjoy this. Spoiler alert. The end of the video. If it doesn't bring you to tears, you don't have a soul. You don't have a soul.
Be with him, Lord. Be with him, Lord. It's blocked. It got blocked. It went in!
I'm getting chill bumps again, man. Look at Al. Look at Al. Look at Al. For those of you that don't know who Al Wilson is, that's the Peyton Manning of the defense. Absolute legend. A killer. Like if he played college football today, you think Jeremy Banks gets flagged for 15-yarders? Al Wilson would not be able to play the game. That's the type of man. If you didn't believe, and you were on his team in practice, Al Wilson, I don't do this on this show, would whoop that ass. He would whoop that ass. That's the type of man Al Wilson was. To see a grown man, the alpha male of that group of people, the alpha male, in tears because Tennessee beat Alabama. That's what it's all about. Let me hit these super chats real quick. We're going to get into this show. Going to be a fun night, man. Going to be a fun night. John Hill for 10. Please, as an early Christmas present, let us beat Georgia. Go Big Orange. Thank you, John. We can start the show now. We got a John Hill super chat. So many comments from people. Well, you've not played anybody. You still got to beat Georgia. You gonna say that if Tennessee goes 11-1? The only team you played was Georgia. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Kelly Thompson for 5. Thank you for super chat. Ask Gabriel, has he seen what the Alabama Josh Pate knockoff had to say about that butt whooping yet? Is he talking about the on-3 guy?
Are you talking about the on-3 guy? If you're talking about the on-3 guy, I did watch that. I don't know what he has to do with Alabama though. I did watch that. If not, let me know who it actually is, and I'll watch it, and then I'll let you know what I think tomorrow morning.
That's the only Josh Pate knockoff I know of is the on-3 guy.
Well,
that's 100% Josh Pate.
Joel Klatt kind of does his own thing that looks a lot like Josh Pate.
Really?
But I didn't watch his reaction yet. I didn't know we had one if that's who they're talking about. But yeah, Joel Klatt, the freaking on-3 guy, JD Pickle, yeah, that's his name. I'm not sure who else, but if that is who you're talking about, the on-3 guy, JD Pickle, yeah, I did see it. I'm not sure what you're referencing though, but if not, let me know. I'll watch it.
Yeah, speaking of tomorrow, yeah, we're going live at 9 o'clock. Eric Kane of VolQuest.com. Also, Locked On Vols going to be on the show to kick things off. We'll go 20, 30 minutes. Then we'll get Gabe on the show. Going to be a fun morning, man. Those Monday morning streams have been a lot of fun, and it's kind of fun to watch it grow, right? Like, it's kind of like, okay, I'll do it this week, but not the next week, and like figuring that out. And then Gabe kind of got involved. It's like, hey, man, you want to do this every week? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And it's just watching that baby grow every week has been a lot of fun. Trey J for 5. Thank you for Super Chat. Says, I'm sorry for cursing last night. Y'all, this is a shout-out to the Pride of the Southland Marching Band for being flexible. I don't know what's that in regards to. We did have a member of the Pride of the Southland in the comments of the post-game show, which I thought was cool. Said he was looking forward to playing Rocky Top many, many, many more times in the future. Can't wait, man. Like, that band, I'm not a band guy. I'm a football guy. But that band is that's a part of Tennessee tradition. Let's see. Let's move on here. Andrew in for $20. That ain't cheap. $20 ain't cheap. Says the players stayed on the field as we stormed it and hugged fans and took pictures, seeing how much the win meant to them. Too made me cry all over again. GBO. Thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. Let me update the leaderboard. Andrew's at the top of the leaderboard. This is another very, very strange comment that I got that basically said the fans didn't play a single down. The fans didn't kick the game-winning field goal. The fans ruined the moment by storming the field. And I was like, do you think that any player on that team was like, how disappointing the fans stormed the field? No, they loved every second of it. Are you kidding me?
That's a Dan Wolken level take right there.
Yeah. Like, those kids loved it. Like, dude, what? That's why I wanted to play that video to start the freaking I told you guys it's going to be a long intro. Going to be a long intro, but what a freaking great atmosphere, environment, and then conclusion to an epic game. Philip Scout for 10. You guys, I love this group. How about that Joe Milton pass at the end of the first half? And how about Brew McCoy blocking a D end on the Princeton Fant TD? These guys are in for each other, and I love it. That starts at the top, so much fun. Which that's another topic that's on the agenda tonight. We'll get to it, Philip. It all starts with leadership. Wade Rouse for 5. Since I'm going to get my state pride tattoo this week, maybe tomorrow, what about a free state pride shirt? Done, Wade. It's done. Mark it down. You tweet out a picture of your state pride tattoo, and I will send you a free state pride shirt. Done and done. Not even going to think twice about it. Thank you, Wade, for the super chat. Yeah, done and done. Not a problem. Kelly Thompson for 5. I was talking about the guy who removed the LSU win from his model because he didn't like the results.
Gotcha. So the college football nerds, the one of the guys on the college football nerds who I was talking about removed the LSU win and the bad game Bama played against Texas A&M to make it look favorable for Bama. I haven't watched their video on it yet. I will go and do that immediately after this because I would love to hear what that fool says.
Hey, actually, that would be a great way to bring you on. So get that link and DM it to me on Twitter. And when you come on after Eric Kane drops off, that's how we'll open the show.
Okay.
But send it to me so that I know what we're getting into and I know what we're looking at.
All right,
That'll be a great way to start.
I will watch it. Thank you for the shout, Kelly, and thank you for the super chats. That was I will watch it. I can't wait to watch that because that pissed me off when I saw that. I was like, "What are you doing? The model likes Tennessee. Well, let me just take out their good performance and Alabama's bad performance." So, yeah, I appreciate that.
Rich Switch 22 becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Rich. We appreciate that. You got those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. We got 500 people watching live. 500 people watching live. We are halfway there. Get another 499 people in here, and I'm giving away 5 shirts. I'm just going to throw our profits out the window and send you guys some free merch. We would appreciate it. Share that link. Share. Put it on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Zach Cherry for 5. Did you guys hear the quote AP has from Darnell Wright last week that he refused to publish to prevent locker room material for Alabama? Didn't he say something along the lines of, we're going to smoke cigars and we're going to smoke everybody else on our schedule? I'm pretty sure that's what the quote was, and AP sat on it until Tennessee beat Alabama. Then he let it out. Mama Knox for 2. Milton's pass is perfect, man. We are in good hands. Hey, yes, we are. I talked about that a little bit in the recruiting video earlier today. Tennessee picking up a commitment in the class of 24. Who doesn't want to come play wide receiver here when you've got Joe Milton, Nico, and Taven Jackson all in that quarterback room?
How about the poise from Joe Milton too? He looked calm as they just said, "Hey, go in there." That may not have. They weren't planning on that. They just said, "Hey, Joe, go in there and throw a Hail Mary." He had the poise in the pocket to step up, step out, get his feet set, and throw a beautiful throw that Brew almost caught.
Close.
Joe Milton's the type of quarterback they could rename the Heisman for. Hey, that's the level. I'm so excited for him.
And that's what we were talking about leading into last season. And I know Boogie got raked over the coals for a couple videos on Joe Milton.
Couple, more like 12.
he has such an upside. He has arm strength that you just don't possess. Those wide throws, those deep throws, it's that touch, and you know it was magnified by the misses of wide open receivers that we saw. But hats off to the coaching staff for saying, "Hey, let's put the guy that has those abilities in there. Let's try to make something happen." And one more point before we move on. How many other coaches that we've had in the last 20 years would have sat on it and played for overtime?
That is exactly what I said in the day after video. And I know you were driving in from Atlanta. In the day after video, I said every coach we've had, even Phil Fulmer, would have sat on it. Everybody would have sat on it.
The only one I could see maybe not is Lane Kiffin, but he was young enough that I don't even know if he would have. I don't know if he would have at that point in his career.
That just shows
15 seconds from your own 32.
He has in his offense and in his team.
It's the reason we won the game.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
You guys are getting ahead of myself. You're getting me ahead of myself. I've got so many great topics, and you guys are bleeding into it and give me lead-ins, but we got to wait. We're going to get there. We're going to talk about the confidence of Josh Heupel. The Power Hour for 5. Very big fan of your show. Congratulations on all the success. Keep up the hard work. Maybe one day we can live chat over some football. Yeah, I hope so. We're going to try to do a meet and greet for the orange and white game next year. If they bring it back to Neyland Stadium, that's the plan. We're going to do a meet and greet at Tailgate. We'll bring a grill. We'll have a blast. Going to be a great time. Would love to meet up with some of you guys, put some names with faces. Mama Knox for 2. Kind of glad Hendon Hooker got that interception. Less pressure now. I've seen a lot of people saying that. Kind of keep him loose.
I don't know that I don't know that I ever saw him play with pressure, though.
No. No. When he came back in that last drive, he was ready to roll. He was ready to go win the football game. But again, we'll get into that topic in a second. That all starts at the top. Stevie J for $50. That ain't cheap. They're throwing those $1 million man emojis in the chat.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
I thought I broke StreamYard again.
It's close there for a second.
It's like, what the heck is going on? Stevie J for $50 says, Boogie, my man, what a game. Go Vols. Hey, we're all still riding that high. We are riding that high. What a game. Great atmosphere. Great. And this is something me and Gabe were talking about, too, before we went live. Like, if you're not a Tennessee or Alabama fan, like, if you watch that game, you were just enjoying a great football game. Of course, if Tennessee loses, the game sucks. They come out on top. It's a great game. We went over to Boone, North Carolina today and just hit a couple of shops, grabbed some coffee, grabbed lunch, drove back. Dude, if you are within 5 hours of Boone, North Carolina, now's the time. Mid-October, drive over. It'll change your life. There is a creator that is responsible for everything, and you see that when you drive through Boone, North Carolina in mid-October. Plus, you can pick up this beautiful matte black App State helmet. I mean, I just waste money when I go over to Boone. But, hey, what a great trip just to drive over and back. Beautiful drive, beautiful drive. I don't even know, what was the point of that? Why did I go down that rant about Boone, North Carolina?
You were talking about how everyone enjoyed the Tennessee game. And you went over to
yeah. So we're over there shopping, just like going through different shops and stuff, and I'm just standing out on the sidewalk because I don't want to shop, I don't want to talk to people, and so many people, man. I had a Tennessee pullover on. So many people were like, "Go Vols, go Vols, congratulations!" And like even the dude in the merch store for App State was like, "Hey man, what'd you think of that game last night?" Like he's like, "I'm not a Tennessee fan, but." Man, what a great football game for you guys just to enjoy. And he's like, thanks for picking up some App State merchandise. But people are taking notice, and let me bleed that in. Let me bleed that in to the next conversation because people are taking notice. You go to Boone, North Carolina, and people are saying, "Go Vols! Hey Vols, what's up? Go Vols! Love the game. Go Vols!" Dauber, is Tennessee back?
Oh, brother, if they're not. I can't wait until we are because as many other fan bases will attest, Tennessee fans are borderline crazy, almost insufferable when our team's at the lowest of lows. We're in the top 5 now, baby.
top 3.
Top 3. Yeah,
that's the next topic. Stay tuned.
I think this coaching staff has the momentum going, and man, a good Alabama team couldn't shut it down last night. So,
Gabe, are we back? Are we back, Gabe?
Listen,
Stop
y'all.
sugarcoating.
Listen, y'all.
Wait. How are you asking him? He doesn't know what being here in the first place is.
Yeah, somebody in the
Listen.
chat says, "Is this what the '90s felt like?" Like they don't even know what being here. They don't know what it means, Dauber, to be back.
Listen, you're right. I have never gotten to even evaluate Tennessee as maybe being back. I've said before, even in 2016, arguably the most talented roster we've had since the 90s, I didn't feel like we were back. I didn't feel like that. Tennessee is back. And it's undeniable. No one can sit there and say that that this season has been a fluke. You know how many teams have had a 6-0 start with four ranked wins, all while scoring 30-plus points in every game? You know how many? In college football history, by the way. All of college football. Yeah, like Dauber saying, 1. You know who that is?
2022. Feels like 2022.
Tennessee. If that doesn't mean that Tennessee is back and Tennessee is legitimate, then when Tennessee is back and legitimate, because like Dauber said, they're on the right track, you better hope that this Tennessee is Tennessee being back. Because if this Tennessee team can be any more back than it already is, you better watch out.
I just don't get it because, and it's not just other fan bases. It's people in the Tennessee fan base. And they're saying, no, we've not beat anybody. We're halfway through the dang season. We are halfway through the season.
And
going into the game. Tennessee was the only team in the country that had beat three teams in the top 25. Then you take down number 3 Alabama. And I don't care how you spin it. We'll roll this right on into the next topic. Tennessee comes out in the AP poll today ranked number 3 Bullcrap. They're the best team in the country. I've said week after week after week, and I think Uncle Lou may be in the chat with a different username. I think people are screaming that. I don't know if it's true or not. I've said week after week after week that Georgia is the best football team in the country, and I still believe that. I still believe that as of right now. I think they're the best football team in the country. But the bottom line is Tennessee has the best resume in the country. So they are 6-0. In the body of work, you cannot deny it, Dauber. They deserve to be ranked number one. I don't care talent-wise. We're not comparing paper. We're comparing the body of work.
Here's the thing, though. You got all these people that want to talk about on paper this and on paper that, and look at who cares what the rankings are. Just play the games and let that speak for itself. Let last night's win speak for itself. It's man, let that
Lane Kiffin
right
posted this on Twitter.
Why am I not surprised?
I love Lane Kiffin. I don't care what anyone. Lane Kiffin. I am a Lane Kiffin fan, and if any of y'all in the chat want to disagree, I don't even care. I love how can you look at this? How can you look at this and not be a Lane Kiffin fan?
His comments on game day, dude. He was young. We talked about this, but he was young. He took his dream job. Like, I don't fault the guy. Like, and I'm so far over it. Like, it's so far in the past. So many people in this fan base that hate Lane Kiffin. I kind of like him, but I do want a rematch. I hated him last year. In that Tennessee Ole Miss game, and a lot of people kind of talking about it, teasing it. Hey, Lane Kiffin goes out and beats Alabama. Tennessee takes care of Georgia. Let's set up the rematch. You talk about a hot ticket. You talk about a hot ticket in the SEC championship game. Let me run through some more super chats. Mama Knox for 2 thought 10-2 was the ceiling. Look at us now, baby. 11-1's got to be the ceiling. 10-2's got to be the floor at this point. My goodness. Lucas Sharp for 5 matches. We could actually get Tennessee versus Ole Miss SEC title game. Also, any chance Carnell Tate flips to the Vols? He was watching last night. He was watching from home. He was watching from home, but he was watching. Matthew Sutphin becomes a member of the channel. Thank you for the support. We appreciate that. Stevie J for 10. A whole nation of recruits watched that game last night. Things are about to get real at Tennessee. Go Vols is what it felt like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's the thing. Like Carnell Tate, yeah, he didn't come in town. Carnell Tate was watching. Stevie J on point there. Mama Knox for 2. Love to see the line pushing our running backs' determination.
Oh, my God.
Josh Heupel talked about that. Josh Heupel talked about that on the Josh Heupel show today, that the offensive line, not just pushing on running plays, but getting 10 to 12 yards downfield on passing plays and pushing the pile.
Protecting Hendon Hooker, he did not have a hurry. There was one sack, and I'll have to go back and watch. I think it was more of a coverage sack.
And he held the ball. Hooker held the ball way too long.
The sack was Hendon Hooker's fault. I was going, what are you doing just standing there with your feet planted in the ground? He was the reason he got sacked right there. Our
offensive line play was off the charts last night.
Oh, my God. Oh, where's that cheetah package now? Where's the cheetah package, y'all?
Hey,
Boogie, can you tell me where the cheetah package is?
I've officially made it. I've officially made it when people are tweeting out and quoting me from the day after video. The best player in the country on Saturday was wearing orange. Where the heck was Will Anderson?
No, where was Will?
Non-existent. Non-existent.
Dallas Turner was there when Hendon Hooker handed him the football. Other than that, where was anybody? Where was anybody in Crimson on defense? Tell me that, ESPN. Where was that cheetah package?
That's why Nick Saban is doing post-game press conferences and cussing like a sailor, because he was so irate that he could not figure out this Josh Heupel offense. He could not figure it out.
How about the rushing yards that this team put up? That speaks to the offensive line as well.
Twice as many as Alabama has given up, or Alabama's average. And we didn't. It's not like we ran all over them. We actually rushed for more yards than they did. Do y'all realize that? Jahmyr Gibbs, who? Listen.
A lot more.
50 or 60 yards more. Listen. We rushed exactly how we needed to. We didn't need the explosive plays. We ran exactly how we needed to. It could not have gone more perfect for Tennessee in the running game. It just couldn't have. We ran exactly how we needed to, and we saw how it opened up the passing game. I mean, listen,
Didn't need
Go
those
ahead.
explosive plays, but we got them. I mean,
Yeah, well,
we got them.
And what did I say about Jahmyr Gibbs on defensively? What did I say about we didn't? All we needed to do is not give up the explosive plays. It's not about
that's the story of this defense.
Exactly. It's not about holding him to 0 rushing yards. He's a freak athlete. He's a freak. He's the best running back in the nation, in my opinion. It wasn't about holding him to 0 rushing yards and 0 touchdowns. It was about making them work for it, limiting him as much as possible, and that's exactly what they did.
I hope the chat and the comments annihilate you for saying Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back in the country, like they have been me for the last week. For the last week, they've been yelling at me about it. He's the best running back in the country.
And look, it's not like there are not a ton of dominant running backs in college football this year. But if you think Jahmyr Gibbs isn't going to go into the NFL and probably win Offensive Rookie of the Year, you're kind of crazy, in my opinion. I think he is Alvin Kamara 2.0. He just is. And I think we actually disagreed with Jordan the other like a couple weeks ago for saying that Jahmyr Gibbs was Alvin Kamara 2.0 basically. And now that I've watched him more, I'm like, yeah, wow, he really is Alvin Kamara 2.0.
Are you gonna go on a rant and talk about how fast his feet are and how
Lord
quick
have
he
mercy.
is, like
I'm
the
so
commentators
exhausted.
did last night?
like Alabama #1 fan Gary Danielson.
Oh my goodness.
He's good though, dude. He's freaking good.
No doubt.
He's good. But I hope you get it. I got annihilated for. I didn't even say it. Xavier said it. Xavier compared him to Derrick Henry. You know who he is? He's Jahmyr Gibbs. He's not somebody else. He's Jahmyr Gibbs. He's a very good football player. And Tennessee, hey, look, he made plays, but Tennessee still bend, don't break, make the stops at the right time, buckle in, dig in the red zone, give up field goals, no touchdowns.
I would talk about Tennessee's offensive line all night. To go back to that, though, I could talk about Tennessee's offensive line all night long because I know Jalen Hyatt scored 5 touchdowns. I know Hendon Hooker had his Heisman game. I know all of this stuff happened. The offensive line, the way they played last night, the toughness they showed, they've been doubted all year long. They've been doubted all year long. I'm not somebody that sits there and watches the offensive line. Nothing that happened last night could have happened if the offensive line did not play. They were rotating left tackle too, still between Gerald Mincey and JJ Crawford. There, you didn't notice a difference. People mentioned in the chat, I'm sure you all have seen the clip of JJ Crawford vomiting on the field and then nodding at the Alabama defense,
Using
like, "Yeah,
bring
bring it on, baby,
bring it on,
baby." And if that doesn't sort of put into perspective the toughness and the grit of this Tennessee offensive line, I truly believe that by the end of the season, this could be the best offensive line in the country. The way that they are playing their hearts out, and I wish that we could sing their praises the whole time because they are where it started in this game for Tennessee. I was so impressed and so amazed. I thought, because I said that watch Will Anderson in the cheetah package and be a non-factor. I said that, but I thought that it would be because of scheme. I thought that it would be because of Josh Heupel getting the ball out of Hendon's hand quickly and stuff like that. I thought that they were going to out-scheme the cheetah package. It wasn't even that. It was just that our offensive line held them and gave Hendon Hooker time, just out-physicaled Alabama's defensive line. That was it. There were times where Hendon Hooker was standing there for 3 seconds before he had to throw the ball.
Tennessee's offensive line, Dauber got kind of undersold going into the year, and something that I kind of preached in the offseason was, Tennessee's returning 4 out of 5 offensive linemen. 4 out of 5. And if this offensive line, if this coaching staff is going to work, I don't care if it's Glenn Ellerbe, Alex Golish, Rodney Garner. If this coaching staff is going to work, if you're returning 4 out of 5 starters on the offensive line, if they don't get better, it's time to move on because Glenn Ellerbe's not going to get it done. And they are getting better.
Yeah, and that's – I think – They maybe flew under the radar. It wasn't an area of concern because we were like, okay, we've got guys coming back that have experience. They didn't play awful last year, but there were some questions. And, it did lead into, well, we've got guys returning that have experience, but can they take that next step to becoming the type of line that dominates a game against Alabama or a game against Georgia or a game against, that didn't really run the ball well against Florida. I said last week, going down to Baton Rouge, I said, I think this running game gets going. I think the offensive line, they're going to get it done because the offense has been clicking, but they hadn't really been running the ball with the rate of success to help this passing game out. It's mostly been Hendon Hooker and those big chunk plays and those dynamic plays, but you get that offense rolling, that is, and spreading the field out wide, oh my goodness. And then run the tempo, get those mismatches. You see what happens. You go 2 of 2 on a drive and in 4 plays, a minute and 16 seconds in a drive. It's boom, 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 boom. Everybody's doing their job. They know their role. And like Gabe said, you've got guys that are rotating in and out, and it's not pressure on one person all the time. They're all stepping up, and they know their role.
Is that an Alabama fan? That's 100% an Alabama fan. How funny is it? How funny is it that we've been talking for weeks that they keep moving the goalposts? Moving the goalposts, right? Go beat Pitt on the road. Prove something to me. Okay, we did that. We'll beat Florida. Then you'll prove something to me. Okay, we did that. Well, you got to beat Florida, Alabama, and Georgia to do that. Okay, well, we beat Georgia. We beat LSU on the road. Destroyed. We embarrassed LSU on the road. You got to beat Georgia or you're not back. Okay, what happens when Tennessee goes and beats Georgia? Well, you got to win a national championship. What happens when Tennessee goes and wins a national championship? They're still not back. You got to win 17 national championships. Screw all of you guys. Screw all of you people that don't think Tennessee is back, because Tennessee is freaking back. We're halfway through the season. You're undefeated. You're ranked number 3, which I think is a joke. I think they're the best team in the country resume-wise. We talked about that earlier. It's just stupid. It's stupid. Let me do some shields. Let me do some plugging. We got 719 people watching live. 719. You guys are blowing up this chat. We appreciate it. Keep sharing. Put on more steam. The Neelan Maxims. Put on more steam. If we get to 1,000 people in the chat, we're going to lose a lot of money, and we're going to give away 5 of these limited edition Buck Fama shirts. They are going to be gone when this stream ends. We may end this thing at an hour. We may end it at 90 minutes. Who knows? We'll see how the conversation goes. So you guys have, at the minimum, 18 minutes to go pick up this shirt. So if you want it, go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. If you don't, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to buy it. Just hit the thumbs up. But if we get 1,000 people in here, we're going to give away 5 of these Buck Fama shirts. So hit that share button, put it on Twitter, Facebook, let somebody know we're live. Guys, it takes 2 seconds to hit share. It auto-populates. Just hit the button. It's over and done with. You don't have to do anything. Share it out. Let's get to 1,000, and let's give away a bunch of Buck Fama shirts. All you guys that were tweeting during the game, after the game, before the game, it was absolutely beautiful. You guys were tweeting, tagging up me, tagging up Talkin VAWLS, saying I'm rocking my Buck Fama shirt. I love to see it, and they look great. They look great in gray. They look great in black, white. Great shirts. I love Bonfire. They do good quality work. So go check them out. Go pick them up and share out this link. Let's get to 1,000. Let me run through some super chats. Cody Branch, longtime listener. He's been here forever. I think he's been on the stream shirtless at least 3 times. He supports what we do here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. He's Boogie. You missed a hundo. No, I got it starred, tagged. I figured out how this StreamYard thing works. So let me run through some super chats here real quick. Mama Knox for 2. Love to see the line pushing our running backs determination. I think I hit that one already. Here's a big one. Fuba Nuba for a hundo. Fuba Nuba for a hundo. That ain't cheap. Play the clip. Shut up and play the clip, Boogie.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
$100 that is not cheap. I was at the game last night. Neyland was insane for all 4 quarters. We kind of questioned that. We talked about that going into the game. Would it be as loud as Oklahoma? There was a lot of people said that Florida game was not as loud. I don't think there's any doubt. I think last night was the loudest game in the history of Tennessee
it broke
football.
the decibel record. I
did.
think I saw 124.
124.
So
that's unreal.
That's yeah. Well, we were talking right before we went off on the tailgate. What Wes Rucker tweeted out. It was 116
Before kickoff.
Pre-game.
Before kickoff, pregame. So yeah, I had, every bit of me knew that the lid was just going to pop off of that, and especially when Tennessee found the ball in the end zone. I mean, just man, it is so awesome. Like we talked about heading into the show, last night, today, going through looking at all these posts on social media, you can't help but sit back and take it all in and just enjoy this moment.
It's been about a 24-hour moment for me.
I'm still not calmed down from LSU. What are you guys talking about?
I am still so fired up. I am not screaming as much as I did last night, but I am still fired up.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a beautiful thing when people in this chat comment or message or DM and say, man, I was at the game. It was amazing. I lost my voice. And I'm like, God, cool, man. I sat in my office by myself screaming at my TV, and I lost my voice too. It's almost embarrassing.
I told Boogie before we went live that my wife was out, and she came back home. She walked in the door when there was 49 seconds left, and Alabama was going down the field. I just said, "Don't talk to me, please. Don't say anything, please." She's like, "I know, I've been watching," but that's how it was. That was the intensity of that moment, just locked in for 3.5 hours, just heart beating faster than it has in the past month.
My iWatch went off.
I bet.
Like
'cause your heart rate?
times because my heart rate.
Yeah.
It was like you've been inactive and have had a high heart rate.
But we talk about we've talked about eerie confidence before, right? We've talked about like Boogie before. I believe it was the LSU game, or was it the Florida game?
No, it was LSU.
You were eerily confident.
And Florida too. Yeah.
There was something about that last drive where I'm sitting there. I'm like, the ball is in Alabama's court right now. We're tied 49. They have over a minute to go. They can easily win this game right now. But there was something about that, the way that there was just something about that. I was just sitting there thinking, Alabama's not going to score here. This isn't gonna happen for them. There was just some weird eerie confidence about that. And yeah, of course I was still nervous as hell. I wasn't like chilling. I wasn't like chilling, laying back, and I was like standing up, just like freaking out. But there was something about those like, man, this just doesn't feel like Alabama's going to win this game right now. Even though they were driving down the field, tied 49-49, and when they were lining up to kick the field goal, I was like, I just don't think he's going to make this. Let
me tell you the beauty of it. And this is going to kind of recap some of what I said this morning on the day after video, but then you guys can give your comments on it. And this kind of bleeds into the next topic. Even though we got a bunch of super chats, guys, I'm going to hit your super chats. Don't worry. I've got them starred. I will hit every single super chat. We appreciate the support. But I want to keep the conversation going here. And it starts at the top. And that's what we kind of talked about a little bit earlier. It starts with Josh Heupel. That eerie confidence starts with Josh Heupel. Mm-hmm. If you watch him on the sideline, his tone, his mood, his mannerisms never change. Tennessee got up early, 21-7. And it's like, I'm an emotional wreck. I'm about to cry. We're up 21-7, and I'm getting emotional. I'm like, oh, my gosh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then you kind of, as the game plays out, and Dauber said this last night, Chase McGrath misses the PAT. And then there's this weird shift in the middle eight, right? Mm-hmm. The weird shift in the middle eight where Tennessee kind of goes from the front runner to now we're chasing points. And it's like you're waiting on 2-point conversions. How is this going to play out? And then 8 minutes to go in the game. You're tied at 42. Gabe, you just said it. The fumble. Just a gift. scoop and score. Like, and my poor wife, I'm watching the Heupel show. I'm like, watch. Because right here is where, like, what Jabari Small is going to come across Hendon Hooker's face. And I'm like, pausing it. And I'm like, now see here, the defensive end is crashing. And I'm like, just watch. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, but here's what happened. And so scoop and score. Like just walk in, right? And as Tennessee fans, we crash at that moment.
That was demoralizing.
And Josh Heupel never changes. And then as it continues to play out, right? Alabama, they missed the field goal. 15 seconds left in the game.
At that point, I said, there is enough time for this team.
But
no one else would say that about any other team.
Watch Josh Heupel's response when they missed the field goal. Butch Jones would have crashed to his knees and been thanking the Lord above. He would have been. Josh Heupel immediately goes. He missed it. He turns and he goes to the offense.
He's setting up his plays.
Yes.
He knows what he wants to do.
Yes. He's ready, and they go make plays, kick the game winner. Josh Heupel is why this team has an eerie confidence.
It's like he's like a pendulum. He doesn't swing too far one way or the other. He kind of stays right in the middle right there. And it shows. And I think it shows in how this team plays. It shows in the quarterback play, because I don't think Hendon Hooker has ran around scared or, you don't have that. There is a sense of confidence, and that's something I talked about in the tailgate show. Leading in this, I said for the Florida game, man, you got that anxious nervousness, energy, like you were talking about earlier, Gabe. But I said yesterday, man, I'm confident going into this game because I know that this team can play toe-to-toe with Alabama and not have to play a perfect game, not have to play a mistake-free game, because they are now good enough on the field. We're not talking about there are some issues at certain positions where depth is a bit of a factor. And, we had some guys out, injury, indefinite suspension with McCullough.
We had a walk-on playing it at cornerback.
And nobody was talking about it.
A walk-on.
You've got all that. And going into this game, we know that the secondary isn't Achilles' heel, but I've got confidence in this offense. They're going to get theirs. They're going to score their points. I mean, look at what they did. Look at Alabama hasn't had that many points put up on them since
7 or something.
I mean, that is ridiculous. It's video game numbers that this offense is putting up, and it's week after week after week.
Tennessee,
in a shootout, hands down, I take them over anybody in the country.
Tennessee was down to a walk-on playing in the secondary. Tennessee handed Alabama a touchdown. The referees handed Alabama a touchdown, and Tennessee still beat them. And we'll talk about the refs. Because that's all Bama fans want to talk about, right?
They want to talk about the pass interference,
baby.
They want to talk about the pass interference at the end of the game there. What about the one where it's like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20, and the Alabama wide receiver pulls the DB to the ground and gets a pass? All right, let me hit these super chats. Great show. This has been a great show. We're 52 minutes in. Absolutely great show. I love it.
We just started.
I know. I'm so glad. I'm so glad,
man. I'm juiced.
The gears were turning last night, and all we were doing was celebrating and screaming and going nuts, and super chats were coming in, and it was amazing.
I still yet to read anything off my notes from the game.
I know. Last night was a celebration. Tonight,
we're still just celebrating.
What are we? Wait a second. We're what? We're 2.5 hours into the post game show technically. Phillips Cow for 5. Tennessee not being number 1 is proof the AP doesn't take their own rankings seriously. 100%. I agree with that. I think it's BS. But the bottom line is Tennessee controls their destiny. Go beat Georgia, and nobody can deny it. That's all you got to do. Beat Kentucky, Georgia, take care of business. Atomic Gasman for 5. After Bama, I feel the only way we lose if anyone can stop our offense, because I don't feel like our offense is too elite to be outscored. I take Tennessee in a shootout, like Darby just said, against anybody.
Absolutely.
Just keep on for now. Just keep on for now. For 20, Boogie, you're the man. Love this channel. I'll be supporting this win for our number 3 Vols. Feels very familiar, just like the fall of my freshman year on campus in Feels like 98. Let's effing go. I don't know if my brother's still in the chat. Dude, he texted me late last night, and I didn't respond. I still haven't responded because I'm a horrible human being. He's already drawing up a Feels Like 22 shirt, and it's got the goalpost taken directly from the screen capture of the goalpost coming down last night.
Yeah.
And it's like, we got to sit on that and hope Tennessee wins a natty. And if they win a natty, we're going to drop a Feels Like 22 t-shirt. But I'm with you, man. It feels special. Feels like 98. We say that a lot, but dang it, this team feels special. Mama Knox for 2. Bama had more penalty yards than rushing yards. Holy cow, is that
is
true?
actually true. That is actually true. Alabama had like 106, 112 rushing yards or something.
They want to whine and complain about the refs. They've played undisciplined football all year.
They set a record already this year for penalties in a game against Texas. They set another record before this record with penalties in a game against Texas.
You can't blame the refs for being undisciplined and having penalties called.
Let me keep running down super chats, guys. Let's calm down. Vol Guy 78 becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate the support. Jacob McGuire also becomes a member of the channel. Look, as I scroll through the chat, there's a lot of people in here that aren't members. You can become a member of this channel if you like what we do. If you like 3 regular dudes talking Tennessee football, like we can come on here and claim to be experts. We can claim all kinds of nonsense. We don't do that. We are. This is for the fans, by the fans. That's why last night we didn't talk football for 90 minutes, and everybody was having a good time because we're celebrating together. So if you like what we do, 99 cents a month. If you want to give a little more, up to $10 a month, you can hit that join button just below the video, right beside subscribe. Hit that join button. You also get access to fan call-in shows. And you see this dude down here? You see this dude down here below me and Dauber? He came on a fan call-in show and killed it. And then he DM'd me on Twitter and was like, hey, man, if there's ever a spot. And now we do a live show every single Monday morning. That's what happens if you become a member of this channel and you come on for fan call-ins and you kill. Let me run through some more super chats instead of kissing Gabe's butt. Pecan for 2, Bama who? That meltdown after the punt made my year. Yeah, I love seeing Nick Saban pissed off.
Really funny.
Captain Woodland for 5. Can we talk about the biased CBS announcers? They get on my nerves so bad I turn the sound off my TV. They're terrible. Terrible.
It'd be something if they could just get players' names right every once in a while. Yeah. They called Jalen Hyatt Jalen Wright, and maybe Brad Nessler is just an old man and he just can't remember. I don't know, but they called Princeton Fant Preston Fant, like just like 4 different players. I was like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all have all week to prepare for this. And I mean, we know about Gary Danielson, and I love Brad Nessler. He's been around for a long time. And I like Gary Danielson, but man, when it comes to Tennessee, it's hard to deny just how miserable it is to watch him call an Alabama game.
There's a little bit more pep in the step when Alabama's making plays, and when Georgia's making plays, and when Florida's making plays, and that's not an unbiased commentator. That's why I hate him. Let's see here. Chris Overman for 5. Crawford throwing up and then nodding at Alabama like, yeah, I'm coming. Priceless. What a great moment. I loved it. Stevie J for 10. 8-0 Georgia and an 8-0 Tennessee will be an amazing game. Bet Game Day shows up for that. Also, we are back. Thank you, Stevie J. We're back. Let's stop being scared. Stop denying it. We are back.
Let me say this. I don't know if we're back.
We're back.
I don't know
if we're back. 2 of the 3. 2 of the 3.
Listen,
top 3. Number 3 in the country.
No, listen. I don't know if we're back. I don't know if we're back.
We're back.
Here. We're here right now. I don't know if we're back, but we're here. We're here. We're 6-0. That's what matters.
Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the ride. Like, it's so many people are so scared. They're so terrified to say that Tennessee's back. And I feel like we are enjoying this ride. And this may be a special season, and it may not be. They may lose to Georgia. They may lose to Kentucky, and it may be disappointing. But dang it, right now, they're 6-0 and ranked 3rd in the country. Sit back and enjoy the dang ride. Brad for 2 says, how long before Hype has the players to beat Bama? About 24 hours ago, Brad. I love it. Austin for 2. Seismograph got triggered last night at the win. I love it. Thomas for 5. Can we talk about Saban getting out-coached by Heupel? He should have ran and made us use our timeouts. I love
some of the worst play. That was, and I don't think that was, because here's the thing. Saban's a defensive coach. I'm pretty sure his offensive minds he gives the offense to his offensive minds. That had more to do with Bill O'Brien, I feel like. But gosh dang it, if they did not make some horrible mistakes there at the end. I mean, like boneheaded stuff, like common sense. Why are you not running with Jahmyr Gibbs to gain 3 more yards and then run the clock down to 1 second and then kick the field goal? That way, at worst, you're tied and go into overtime. That just seemed like a major overlook. I don't know what was going through their heads.
I'm calling the crazy audible because I'm feeling great and having fun, and this has been a great show, and we're an hour in. I'm calling a crazy, crazy audible. And Papa T may deny this. He may cut me down. He may cut me off. Papa T for $20. Thank you for the super chat, Papa T. We appreciate it. He says, when the college football playoff poll comes out before the Georgia game, we will be number 2, 12-0 SEC champs, 2022 natty. Been saying this team is special. Another MVP. O-line played excellent. Coach Hype is the coach of the year. We have the 3 best wide receivers in the country. Papa T, if I send you the link, are you free? Are you available? Are you in a clear, clean spot with no noise that you can come on? Papa T is Vol Nation. He calls into the Swain event all the time. He has been a member of this channel for a long time. He's the guy that said, Boogie, $5 isn't enough. You got to give me another membership so I can contribute more money to you. He's always in the chat. He's always in the comments. He's always on Twitter. Well-known dude. And he is the most positive, optimistic guy on the planet. And he has been all about the hype train for a long, long time. And if Papa T is free, I will send him the link and let him come on here, and he can say whatever he wants. If he doesn't want to do it, that's fine. But because he popped in here, dropped that big-time super chat, we'll see if he pops up what Papa T has to say. Kelly Goodwin says Papa T is the man. Papa T says yes. All right, here we go. Let me take care of some business real quick. Let me pull up Twitter. Let me see if I can go find Papa T real quick. Dauber, you want to talk while I do this?
You guys know that I was just playing. Mm-hmm. I do think this team's back, but I don't want to just say we're back. We're here. Mm-hmm. Here is what I want to focus on. Not back, not the past. I don't want to live in 98. I want to live in 2022 and what this team is doing right now.
Right.
Because this coaching staff and this group of players, they're doing something special. And we went into this season saying, man, 8-4, that looks good. Anything else beyond that is icing on the cake. And then you go out and you win your first 6 games, and 3 of those games we considered toss-ups. One of those games it was a guaranteed loss. We were just chucking this Alabama game in the loss column. Mm-hmm. But this team goes out week after week after week, and you see the improvement. You see them getting there. And that is what you have not seen from past coaching staffs.
That's exactly what I've said is the difference is improvement from week to week is a thing I personally have never in my life seen from a Tennessee football team. I have never seen a Tennessee football team have a clear issue in 1 week and then it be a non-issue for the rest of the season. Ever.
The thing is also you have players who come in that have the ceiling is way up there. They come in with a trajectory like this, and then they just plateau off. They never get any better. They never improve because they weren't getting coached up. This team, you had guys like Joshua Dobbs or Derek Barnett or Cam Sutton that their God-given talent and athletic ability let them keep achieving. It had zero to do with the coaching. But these guys, you look at Cedric Tillman. You look at his body of work. We talked about body of work earlier in the show when we talked about Tennessee's record and where they are ranked versus what they've done on the field. You look at the body of work, and Cedric Tillman had done nothing prior to this coaching staff. Mm-hmm. 8 catches over a career breakout season last year. Mm-hmm. And now we're winning games, and he's on the sideline injured. Mm-hmm. Our
Jalen Hyatt has more touchdown catches in 6 games than Cedric Tillman had catches in 3 years.
It is amazing to see all the pieces are aligning. And one thing I said to my buddy today when we had brunch before I hit the road from Atlanta and came back to the beautiful mountains of East Tennessee. And the leaves on the tree looked a little bit oranger. The sky was beautiful.
Is
Everything.
oranger a word?
It
It
is
is
for
now.
me. It is for me.
It's in my definition.
In East Tennessee, oranger is acceptable.
So what I said was, you look at all the tweets from the basketball team. Those guys out there supporting. They were at baseball games. They're at the football games. All these athletes are there supporting each other. You have a athletic department that is all rowing in the same direction. You have a administration that is all in alignment, and that is something that we've not seen either. And I think that is a big key to the success across the board for Tennessee athletics. Are you good now, Boogie?
Yeah, I'm good. Papa T is messaging me saying, how does this work? Papa T, all you got to do is click that link, and it'll ask you your mic. You can enter your name. It's very easy. Just click that link. You can pop on in. I'm going to run through these Super Chats real quick, get us caught up, and then we'll get – I hope Papa T gets this worked out. Papa T's the man. Papa T is the man. We need him on this channel for a long time. He's such a good dude, man. Had so many great conversations in the DMs on Twitter. Thomas Maynard for 5. Can we talk about Saban getting out coached? Yeah, we hit that one. Thank you, Thomas Maynard. Tyler Coggins for 5. After the 4th touchdown, you think they would have put another man on? Hyatt. That scheme, that is coaching. That is Josh Heupel and Alex Golish dialing up Hyatt. Gabe, I know you want to talk. You got to chill. I got to get through these super chats.
Okay.
They're stacked up. Shot by Andrew for 2. Says, go Vols. Thank you for the super chat. Skid Row 007 for 5. I want to give a huge congrats to Tennessee on your victory. That is how the 3rd Saturday in October should be. Congrats again. Go Big Orange. Look, hey, as much as I hate on people, there's been a ton of Alabama fans that have come into the comments of videos, live streams, and everything and said, kudos, congrats, you guys won. Hopefully we get a rematch.
It's a lot more fun when it's a competitive game.
Talk trash leading up to, and then if you lose, give people respect. And we have given Bryce Young respect. We have given Jahmyr Gibbs respect.
Listen.
Two great players. Dauber, hold on. I gotta jam through.
There's 3 starred.
I know, but they've been waiting. These have been in there for 10 minutes. Dauber's like, I don't care about super chats. I want to talk.
I want to say Bryce Young. None of us really expected him to, it was up in the air. Expecting him, man, he might play. I didn't think he'd play the whole game. I thought he might start, but he came out and, man, hats off to that young man. And
Bryce
the game
Young is a dude.
Because he got hit and hit and hit and hit again. And he had a great ball game. But Hendon Hooker went toe-to-toe with the defending Heisman Trophy winner, and I think he took a big step in front of him, leading Tennessee to the victory last night.
Agreed.
The floor is yours, Boogie.
I really hope I didn't send the link to the wrong person. Holy crap. Did I send it to somebody that sent me a spam message? I may have. Holy crap. I hope. No, there you go, Papa T. The link. Yeah, there. Papa T's got the link. So let's. All you got to do is click that, buddy, and come on in. Let me. We got a couple more super chats here. VFL Willie for 2. What happens when we have some 4- and 5-star DBs and linebackers? Sign me up for that. Alex becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Alex. I encourage you guys, if you're not a member, become a member. If you like what we do, if you like the morning streams particularly, if you guys, the more people that join this channel is going to open up a window of time for old Boogie. And I'm going to drop morning streams. If me and Dauber are going to go live on Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to do morning streams on Monday, Thursday, Friday. Whatever the opposite that me and Dauber do, I'm going to do morning streams those opposite days. The more members we get, the more realistic that becomes. Tennessee Guard Guy for 10. Roll Tide down the polls. Thank you, Tennessee Guard Guy. We appreciate that. Jason for 2. Hey, Bama fans in here. Y'all got a light. Hey, Bama fans, you guys know how to light up a cigar? We would appreciate any instructions that you guys have. I think we figured it out real quick on Saturday night. Still waiting on Papa T to pop on in here. Holy cow, we have hit so many topics. I had a couple of things laid out, and I feel like we bounced around so much. Dauber, what else? What other takeaways do you have from this football game on Saturday afternoon, 3:30? God, what a win! What a win for this program.
Well, listen, I pulled this up in my last night in the post game, and we talked about the offense. Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, 6 catches and 5 touchdowns. I mean, how efficient is that? But two things that I wrote down in my notes, and I showed it last night. I showed again. How about the defense and the special teams? You know, yeah, there were 2 penalties that were huge on special teams for Alabama. You know, the blocks in the back that put them back, but that allowed the defense to kind of pin their ears back and go. And what we've talked about that, and I know I've said I hate it, the bend but don't break, but that's what this defense, that's what they have to do. Your offense is going to go out there and they're going to get theirs. It's you force a punt 1 or 2 times, you hold them to a field goal or a field goal attempt at the end of the game that they miss. That's the difference in the game.
And
Tennessee held them to field goals, and Heupel talked about this on the Josh Heupel show, and it's like they kick a field goal, and he's like, we'll talk about that later in the game. How does that impact later in the game? Let's get Papa T on here. Papa T's in the house. What? This is a dude that has been a part of this channel for a long time, and going back to the preseason, and you talk about hype and expectations and what can this team be? And I'm talking about 8-4. People are talking about 7-5, and Papa T's like, no. We're gonna go take care of business. Jump on the hype train. Papa T, it's good to put a face with the name. How you feeling tonight,
What's
buddy?
up, man?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
Good.
Pretty good. A lot better after last night.
Oh my gosh! You know, we were in the building last night. I got a chance to go to that game, and it was my grandson. He's 14 months old. It was his first game.
Oh,
I
wow.
love it. I love it.
He had a blast. He was dancing to the music. He was enjoying the light show. He just had a great time. And after we got finished with the game and that field goal went through, I looked at my son-in-law who married my daughter. And I said, you know, here's my grandson. And it was first game, and it was against Alabama. And all he will remember is that we beat Alabama, and that's what we do. You know, for so long, you know, 15 years, you know, we've lost to Saban. And so, of course, he wasn't alive during that time frame. I was alive when we were actually beating Alabama and winning these ball games. And so you have a generation that has no clue about any of that. And so now you do. You know, and so now I get a chance to start a new generation, a new time frame with my son, Love, and my grandson. And he was wearing his little UT gear and everything. He looked precious.
What does that say, though, Papa T? Because that's something that me and Dauber talk a lot about is we love Tennessee football. We love, you know, there is a common bond with everybody that's ever come across this channel, likes this channel. We all bleed orange, and we love Tennessee football. But when you take it a step further, and I woke up this morning, I even told my wife, I said, you know what? It feels great to wake up to a win, but it's just football. It's about the people that you experience that with, and taking your grandson and knowing that is a story that you'll take to the grave. That I took my grandson to his first ever Tennessee game, and they ended a 15-year streak. That's something, man, like nobody can ever take that away. It's about the people that you enjoy those moments with. And what do you think about that? Like, how many games have you been to, and just the relationships with people?
That's what it's all about with me. Years ago when I first met Swain, I went to a National Signing Day, and I got a chance to mingle with people and things of that nature. And that was before I really got on Twitter and all this other stuff. But it was the people that I connected to. We would go down to, I think, Dead End Barbecue, and then we had another place that we went to before then. And I started connecting with everybody that was wearing orange. And it was just wonderful sitting down talking.
Oh, no! Right in the middle of a story. How does Papa T get kicked? Right in the middle. Let me hit these super chats, and hopefully Papa T can bounce back in here. Will Murley for 2. We have to beat Kentucky first, but boy, November 5th will be fun. We'll start talking about that after we dominate Tennessee Martin, but that's definitely a point to talk about later. Dan Yoder for 5. It does not get better than living in Florida. We silenced the Gator fans. Haven't heard from them in weeks. Now we silenced the Tide. Life is good today. Thank you for super chat. Adrian Nicole for 5. Tennessee won for my honeymoon this weekend. Now let's do it for my birthday. Holy crap. Let's go. Let's go. Honeymoon win over Alabama. Birthday win over Georgia. I'll take it. Thank you, Adrian, for the super chat. We appreciate it. Bryce, what's up, Bryce? Willie was texting me today, man, and asking if I saw your video. I've been out of town. I got to go pull you up on Facebook and find the video that you had from the game last night. Bryce says, man, it feels good. The sleeping giant of college football has been awoken. Tennessee teams
that's
in the
right.
past would have folded after the scoop and score. Great teams respond, and we answered every punch. That's it, man. Great teams, the good teams, find a way to win, Dauber, no matter what.
Back?
Find
You
a
know
way
how
to
we're
win.
back? We
How
have
are we-
we're back because here in this chat we have random Georgia fans finding this stream, scared random Georgia fans finding this stream just so they can tell us how we're going to lose to Georgia here in 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks from now. Georgia's already looking through. I don't even know who Georgia has on the schedule for the next 3 weeks. Georgia fans are already saying, we're playing Tennessee in 3 weeks. Better go ahead and start talking trash because we are scared as hell of that Tennessee football team.
Listen, here's the thing. Boogie, we can look down here at Gabe. You know, we can look at Bryce and his text right there, message right there.
Kid's a
These guys-
freshman at Tennessee.
The kid's a freshman in college. These guys don't. They were in diapers. They were in diapers when this team was relevant. It is so good to be back to being relevant. Listen, game day has been in Knoxville twice this year. The center of college football has been in Knoxville twice this year. The national media, we've hit on it for 3 weeks now in a row and just talked about this. Tennessee is the new media darling right now. And
100%.
the success and everything that they're doing and what the momentum that Coach Heupel and the staff has. And like you said, he is just so, matter of fact and chilled out. And he's just like, yeah, well, we're going to go out and play the football game. And that's the thing. I don't think it matters to him. I don't think it matters to this team one bit where they're ranked. Yeah, we can sit here and argue and look at the body of work and say, well,
That's the fun of being a fan.
But I don't think this team cares. I don't think it matters to them. It's a business-like approach. They're putting in the work. They're getting better week to week. They're addressing issues, and we'll have people come on when we do talk about stuff after a game, because as fans, that's what we can do. And we're not being critical. We're looking ahead. We're looking ahead to November 5th. We're looking ahead to Kentucky or to Georgia, or every time those goalposts get moved and all these wins you keep clicking off, and you're like, well, if we can look at this issue and fix this and not make this mistake, then that train just keeps chugging along up that hill. And I'll say it again. We might not be back, but we're here. We're here and now, and we're 6-0.
Dude, I said that on Twitter. I was like, Tennessee has arrived. People got mad at me. They're like, no, we've been here for a long time. I'm going to have to yell at Gabe like I yell at Dauber. We got this magic feature. Where you can pull up an alternate browser and share your screen.
I used it earlier.
What is that? Gabriel, explain.
That is a picture that Carnell Tate posted to his second Instagram account.
Oh, he's flashing the ball sign.
He's throwing up the VOL.
That kid loves attention, but guess what? As much as he wants it, I'm going to keep giving it to him because we need him here.
Yeah, do you know what? Ohio State kept him from coming to that game yesterday.
100%.
They just did. They said, hey, you're not going to that game. Where they said, oh, we'll give you an extra little check if you don't go to that game. I don't know. Carnell Tate, I don't care if it's an attention grab, bro. If it's not, he wants to come. He wants to come to Tennessee. He just does. He wants to play at Tennessee. And here, Carnell Tate or no Carnell Tate, it's not the end of the world. Whatever. But I'm just saying, it's too much to ignore. This guy. He clearly loves him some Tennessee.
The gears are turning in his head. He is thinking, what could I do in that offense? What could I do in that offense?
To be
That's what
in
he said.
Conversation for these elite athletes. That's the point. That's the point that we're making. Tennessee is here. Tennessee is relevant, and Tennessee is in the mix. So this isn't just a fluke. We're setting it up for 2023, 2024. You look at all the kids that were in the house last night and took in that atmosphere. You know, we had Papa T on just a minute ago. I don't know if he's
so unfortunate, man.
But I was wanting to ask him, since he was there.
He's trying to get back on. He's trying to get back on.
What it felt
Let's put him
like
in here.
to be in there. And just, I know I've seen all the videos. You've seen all the videos. We've looked at all the videos all night before we went to bed, woke up and pulled them back up. But, man, it is, Tennessee is here. And this is now, and it's just hard to come down from it.
Here's the man of the hour, Papa T back. Dude, you were right in the middle of such a great story when the internet bounced. Let's try to get back to kind of recap where you were at, what you were talking about. Let's get back into relationships, family, that Tennessee family.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, I got a chance to go to a National Signing Day years ago, and that's where I got a chance to meet some of the guys that I would listen to on the radio. And we got some great callers that would call into the swing event, and definitely everyone that seems to come on this show, man, is just excellent, top notch. Boogie, you've been amazing. I didn't even know who Boogie was years ago, and then all of a sudden I started hearing his name pop up, and I started getting onto your podcast and listening to you, and all the guys that once again come on your show and that plug in with you, man. And you got a special program. You got a special group of people right here. And it's fun listening to you guys talk about football. And once again, that's, to me, part of the relationship. Actually seeing people face to face, hearing their heart about how passionate they are about the program, how passionate they are about the football team, and Tennessee in general. I mean, I like basketball, I like football, I like soccer, but football is my heart, it's my passion. And so connecting with these dudes, connecting with these people, connecting with Swain, connecting with you, and everybody on this program and different people on the chats and everything, that's what makes it special to me. And then when we get ready to go to the games, I've met people like Concrete Vol and Caleb and different people, whatever, and they've invited me to tailgates, and I've been introduced to Leonard Little, and I've been introduced to a lot of the I would say NFL greats, but college football greats for Tennessee over the years, and just meeting them and getting a chance to talk football. Once again, relationship, and I realize they're really down to earth people. They don't mind talking to you, they don't mind engaging you. I mean, last night after the victory, we were downstairs and people were running out, and I saw Jamal Lewis run by me, and I was like, that was Jamal Lewis, you know what I'm saying? And he was jacked and excited, and everybody was high-fiving. One dude, he didn't even know who I was. He just said, "Go Vols," and he sees my shirt, and he just grabs me and he gives me this big bear hug, and it was just amazing, and that's what it's all about. It's really about relationship, and I think we've got some of the most passionate fans. They're not always maybe the most tactful in how we communicate and things of that nature. But like I said, they are the most passionate. They're most fun to be around. And what makes it fun for me and my family is that we get a chance to go to the games and connect and have an opportunity to build relationships, lasting relationships, even outside of just football. We're connecting with people outside of just, being there for the tailgate or being there on a Saturday, because, like I said, it's about the people, man. And I love people. I love engaging people about, their lives and things of that nature. I'm a nuclear medicine technologist, but I'm also a pastor. And my wife and I have been doing marriage ministry for 26 years, and we have our own ministry and things of that nature. So I'm always connecting with couples, and we love it. That's what we're passionate about. And so we're always connecting with people and having that opportunity to really hear their story, because people like to talk. They like to engage. They want to know that you care. And one thing I've learned, and maybe it's just the orange, I don't know if it's like this on every campus, but everyone seems very genuine, when we're communicating with them. And I enjoy that. And I don't know everything, so I listen to you guys, and you guys give me information that I don't have. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome, But, once again, just enjoy the show, man. You guys do such a great job. And I'm just excited that my family gets to experience this as well. That makes sense?
I will say this. There is not one fan base that is more genuine than Tennessee. I'll see somebody down here in Texas wearing a Power T hat or something like that, and of course, I have to say something every time because it's pretty few and far between. But those are some of the most quality little conversations I'll have with people, talking about where we're from and just sort of that sort of thing. It doesn't even have to be more than just a 30-second little thing, but you can tell they're genuine people that have lived their lives and come to the same area where I'm at, and albeit a different path. But I will say I don't think there is a more genuine fan base than the Tennessee Volunteers fan base. I truly believe that.
I'm laughing at the chat because they're like, holy cow, I love Papa T. I told you guys, this is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to talk to Papa T face to face. And the internet is a beautiful thing, man. Like, yeah. Gabe, me and Gabe have formed a great relationship. Me and Xavier. Like, Xavier's a dude that I've met in person, face to face, and like he feels like a brother. And it's like, that's the beauty of the internet in 2022, where we can get all these like-minded people together. And that's the whole point of the Talkin VAWLS network. It's not about what Dauber has to say or what I have to say or Gabe or anybody that comes. It's about what we all, that common interest. And Papa T, you talking about relationships and stuff, and it was kind of fun. And there's a guy that I've been able to kind of interact with a little bit on Twitter. And I don't know if he's a Swain Event listener. I know the other guy is. DR Vol is a Swain Event listener for sure. And Nelson, his username on Twitter is Jackson Vol. Nelson from Jackson. Great dude, man. Like, had so many great fun interactions with him on Twitter. He plays the drums at his church, and he'll get in there, and the church is empty, and he's like jamming out to Rocky Top, and he's like, Boogie, share this out. It's just so much fun, man. Just good people. Good people. Those two guys don't live that far apart. They live kind of close to each other. And Nelson from Jackson and DR Vol stormed the field Saturday night, and they just so happened to meet at the 50-yard line for the first time ever in person in Neyland Stadium after the streak ended. What a cool story, so cool. Papa T. What a cool story that is.
Yes, it is. And that's what it's all about. Once again, sometimes, because of COVID and things of that nature, we hadn't had an opportunity to see a lot of people recently. And now everybody's kind of getting back together and things of that nature. And you'll have wonderful stories like that. I mean, I think I was listening to a program earlier, and they were just talking about when they were looking at the people that were excited about what took place. You had people that were 15 and 20 years old and 60. It didn't really matter. They were high-fiving, hugging. They were excited about what was going on. And once again, you have relationships like this that's been built over years, because a lot of times we do talk to a lot of people on these shows, or we talk to people on Twitter, and because you don't have to be in the same city or, to be able to communicate with people. But unfortunately, because of the distance, we don't get a chance to see them. And so that's a wonderful story. DR Vol is a really good guy. And we've known each other for quite some time. And we've got some other guys that, of course, that I haven't even seen probably in 2 years now that I'd love to get together and see. And so maybe we'll try to make that happen. But, once again, you guys are very important. You, Swain, and people that have shows like this, because you actually create a platform for us to get together and to talk, and for us to have some aspect of community and a buy-in. That's why we sow into your show. We sow into this podcast because we believe in you, believe in the guys that you're bringing on, like Gabriel, you got Dauber. You got great guys, with great insight, great wisdom, knowledge of the game, and you make it fun. You say, well, we're not experts or anything like that. You don't have to be an expert. The thing about it is, whatever you do passionately for an extended period of time, you become an expert in.
Yeah, that's
so
good
you
stuff.
guys are passionate about what you do. You do the research, you do the work, you put it in, so that way when you come in here, you can sound like you know what you're talking about, and you do. And the thing about it is, you've got a lot of people that's on this chat and that probably call in that have a lot of knowledge as well. Because when I meet people and things of that nature, and they're talking football, sometimes I'm like, wow, that's really good. I hadn't thought of it like that. Because, they're so passionate about it. They're studying it. They're watching the game. And you guys, sometimes you guys make us smarter. Because we're listening to you, and I'm like, man, I didn't look at the game like that. Wow, let me look at this. And I do research, and I look back because I'm a stat guy, so I'm always looking at stats and things of that nature, trying to go behind the numbers sometimes or whatever. But like I said, just connecting with people, connecting with the guys that I know from the shows and that I know from the chat lines, and then listening to you guys. This is what makes it fun. It gives us, once again, a sense of community. We're passionate about this particular program. We're passionate about what's going on because Coach Hype has definitely changed the culture. We talked about this earlier, and I text you and blow you up all the time. I said, Boogie, and I put those exclamation points down there, because you've always hit the nail on the head when you come on your program. I'm like, wow, you're on it. And the biggest thing that happened to us is when Danny White hired Coach Hype.
Big time.
For the first time in I don't know how long, over a decade, we have a real football coach. And he can develop talent. He can identify it, he can develop, and he can put a quality product on the football field. And we weren't sure about the defensive coordinator, Tim Banks, and all that, and what he was going to do, even though he was bringing in Coach Garner and different people. We were just hoping, you know what I'm saying? And it's almost amazing to sit back and think about what he's done in about 18 to 20 months. But it started with something he talks about all the time, and what we're talking about tonight, relationship.
Big time.
These kids have bought into the culture because of the relationship they have with their coaches, the relationships they have with one another. That's why he was doing all the dodgeball and doing all. Why? Because he was building community. He was building some relationships within the program so they can trust one another. And so now, because they believe in each other and they have a relationship with one another, then they've also bought into the system, they bought into the program, they believe in everything that's coming out of their mouth, and it's working. It is working. And so we're seeing a fantastic product on the field. And that's why when coming into this year preseason, I was like, I can see us going 9-3. I can see us going 10-2. But I also looked at it and said, if things go just right, if we can stay healthy, if every week we can progress and get better, I said, I can see us going to the SEC championship game, and I can see us being in the college playoff picture. That's what I saw this year, just because I believe in what Coach Hype is doing. I'm listening to the conversation of the players and how they're communicating. You're seeing Jalen Hyatt just all of a sudden just skyrocket, because this is with our number one wide receiver on the sideline. And you're seeing him, and I think it's actually beneficial. I'll stop talking a second because I can talk.
Keep going, Papa T.
What you're seeing is he's giving an opportunity, or we've been given an opportunity, maybe Coach Hype and Henry Hook has been given an opportunity to connect with these other receivers. Because they were on the field, but when 30 to 40% of your passes go to one guy, then we're depending on that one guy more than we are, and we're limiting ourselves. He's looking at 1/3 of the field. And so now he's having to depend on these other guys, and they're stepping up. I mean, you said a few weeks ago, looking at Keaton, right? I was ready to take Keaton's jersey and tell him to go sit on the sideline, give him a pom-pom, and just cheat, And now he's out here killing the game. And I'm like, oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to see the development of these other guys. And then Jalen Hyatt, we were hoping that he could be that guy. He is that dude. And I'm looking at this with Brew, with Jalen, and when Cedric comes back on that football field. I believe we have the three best wide receivers and basically the best wide receiver core in the country.
I agree.
And the best quarterback.
And the best quarterback.
Pick your poison. It's pick your poison. Who are you going to try to shut down?
Right.
And Papa T, man, you talk about community, and Boogie talked about it earlier, just a minute earlier in the show. We are going to try to set something up to have a tailgate, a meet and greet at the Orange and White game. And man, these fan call-in shows that we have on Tuesdays and tailgates pregame, it is so much fun because we have guys like you come on. We have guys that
Coach
come on.
Jay. Coach Jay's great. I mean, Matt Begley's great.
People that are far more knowledgeable about the football game than we are. I'll admit that, hands down. But it's fun. It's fun to get on here and talk with guys that are like-minded and they bring up a point and you're like, I've not thought about it that way, but yeah, I can see that. So, man, if we can, not if we can, when we work out something, I hope to get to meet you face to face and hang out and just make this relationship and this connection more than just screen to screen and in person. Right. I wanted to ask you one thing before we, lost you there earlier. You were in Neyland last night, and you've been to Neyland in games before. How does last night compare and stack up just give us. I mean, I've been to a handful of games. Florida in '98, Oklahoma, Notre Dame when I was in school down there, and Notre Dame came back to Neyland. Electric atmosphere. Neyland at night, when those lights come on, it is something else. It is a beautiful thing. But last night they set the decibel record, and just the way this team played and the way this Josh Heupel coach team played, and it's an offense like has never been seen at Tennessee. It's so electric, it's so fast, and they can score. You look at their offensive drives. I think their first 4 drives were under 2 minutes, every one of them. It's so quick, it's so electric. Set the stage for us that weren't there last night compared to other games you've been to. What did it feel like being there?
Whew, that's a lot. First of all, it looked like it was a ton more people out there at the tailgates, at the torch, and I mean, you could barely move around. The excitement. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Danny White set up a watch party in the Humanities Plaza on campus, just like he did for baseball. And I saw some videos today as I was scrolling through social media, and that was jam-packed. Jam-packed.
Yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder, wall to wall people on campus that couldn't get into the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, all around the stadium, every porta potty, everything was full. You couldn't go anywhere. I'm just telling you, it was crazy. But the thing was, it started in, like I said, it started in the parking lot. We were at, I think, Garage 10, right there by the stadium or whatever. Yeah. And you can tell when we pulled in that the atmosphere was different because the belief of us having an opportunity to go out there with a W instead of an L was actually in the hearts of the people. I mean, it was more in the past when I've gone to a Bama game or I've gone to a Florida game or something like that. We were hopeful, we were wishful. People were having a good time communicating and talking and fellowship, hadn't seen each other in a while. But, they weren't talking with and didn't seem to have that swagger and that confidence. People were jacked and so excited for this game. And you can tell in the conversations and the posture of the people that was coming around, even during the wall walk. People, I mean, it was just packed and you couldn't hardly move around. And everybody had this light in their eyes, like we were about to witness something special. And when I walked into the stadium with my son-in-law and with my grandson, you could feel the energy of the people. You could hear the passion. And with all the advancements and stuff, that was like the first time this year that I've had an opportunity to go since they've done all the additions and things of that nature. The new board is up, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. The new area that they can stand right underneath that board and things of nature. And I don't know if I thought it was a new sound. I mean, because it was so loud in there. I mean, when the volume went up, it was deafening. And that was the only thing for my grandson, because for 3 quarters, he did really good. But that 4th quarter, he was really tired. And a touchdown coming, he started crying. I was like, it's okay. It's okay.
Hey, I was crying too, Papa T. I was crying too.
But like I said, just the energy and the passion of the people. And, before you see, and this is probably the most telling part. When we played for 3 quarters without a turnover and we were doing really good, and then we've got that fumble. It was a tie game. We had the fumble, and it was like 6 minutes to go. This is when you knew that it was different and the atmosphere was different because it was electric throughout the process. It was, I mean, every time Alabama got the football, I mean, it was so loud, I could barely hear myself think. You could feel the vibration of the people talking and shouting and yelling and things of that nature. And the energy in the building was just exciting. And with the fireworks and things of that nature and watching Jalen Hyatt do his thing, it was just an amazing time to be a volunteer and to be in there because you were watching an instant classic. But this is when you know that the atmosphere was different. It's because when they scored that touchdown, normally people would have walked out like you saw at LSU. Right? They said, "Oh, that's it. It's over. We're not going to make it." And let me go ahead and beat traffic. I don't believe there was one person that left the building. They stayed seated, and it's because they believe that this team is not going to give up, and the fans said, "I'm not going to give up on them either." And so then, as the rest of the time began to unfold, I had every confidence that we were going to win the game in regulation. And when they missed that field goal, because our defense, they did everything. I mean, that bend don't break type of a thing kind of gets on my nerves sometimes.
Absolutely.
You know, it is
100% with you. 100% with you.
You know, but anyway, they did just enough to put him where he had to kick that 50. I think it's 52 was his longest. And he kicked that 50, and because it was on that hash, it made it more difficult. And he hooked it. And when he missed it, and we had 20 seconds to go, I said, "We're winning this game." I said, "We don't need 20 seconds."
That's exactly. That's what I said. I said there is enough time for them to get down the field in field goal range.
When he missed that field goal, that's I was just talking about that. When he missed that field goal, I was like, "That's it. We win. We win.
Yeah,
legitimately.
That was it.
We win."
And they did exactly what they were trained to do and what they've been doing all year. They walked out there with confidence, and Henry Hooker had his Heisman moment. He says, "I'm going to put us in position to go out here and do the job and kick a field goal and walk out of here with a W." And they made 2 plays. One to Ramil Keaton. We gave him his jersey back. They gave him some Wheaties. He went out there and did the job, right? You know. And then, of course, you know, Brew McCoy went out there and said, "Yes, I am a 5-star. I am better than the people that's covering me." And he made a big-time catch in traffic. But we can't.
That's my ball. That's my ball.
That's 100%. It. The throw was amazing in itself. And so with that catch and then coming down with that 2 seconds left, Coach Hike was on the job calling timeout, and he went out there, our kicker number, and he was just calm. He was just like he says, "I've done this." He mentioned it in an interview that he had done it once before, or whatever. But he said he wasn't necessarily nervous. He was focused. He was locked in, and he went out there. And I don't know if it was tipped or not, but it was a knuckleball. But it was kicked far enough to go through the upright. That's all he needed.
Looked ugly, but it went.
It was an ugly duck.
People in chat were calling it the Knoxville knuckleball.
They were calling Phil Necro. Phil Necro came back and drove that thing. Dude, when I was watching the Heupel show today, and they showed the side angle, that thing barely got through. Barely got through. But at the end of the day, it's a huge W. That's all that matters.
I want to go back to something Papa T was talking about real quick, because I never got to say my piece about it. So a couple things he was talking about. One, I want to go back to the community aspect of what he was talking about, because of course it plays into the whole game, and you know, Tennessee fans not leaving the stadium when that turnover happened, because there's such a feeling of, I mean, people have said Tennessee fans don't deserve it. They've said Tennessee fans don't deserve it, you know, but that those fans sticking in there for that game is a reflection of what Josh Heupel has brought, and that sense of community and relationship he builds with his players extends to the community. But when the game ended, and I'm in Texas, so there aren't a lot of Tennessee fans here, okay? And this is my biggest outlet, my biggest chance to talk to people who care about the same thing I do. When that happened, of course, I was just freaking out. Oh my God, we beat Alabama. And my second thought was, I am just happy for all of us. I am just happy for all of it. That I feel like I'm pretty sure that's the first thing I said when I came in here on the post-game show. First 1 through 3 things I said, if y'all want to go fact check it, just to be safe. I was like, I am so happy for everybody who has not seen this, for people my age, Tennessee fans that have grown up in the hardest time it is to be a Tennessee fan and get to see this tonight. I am just so happy for all of us. Everyone in the chat, and nobody in that chat, nobody there was a stranger to me. Nobody there was a stranger to me.
I said to my wife, we were texting, I was going upstairs, I was getting a sandwich at halftime. I was doing this, I was doing that. Every time she's score checking, what's the score? What's the pulse? She's like, I hear you screaming. What's going on? And I came up there quickly after the game, and I said, are you happy? And she's like, I'm happy. And I said, are you happy because you know the post-game show is going to be big? Like, let's not lie. Tennessee winning does not hurt the financial pocket of the Talkin VAWLS network. Right. And she said, a little bit, but she said, I'm happy for you because you have wanted this for so long. And she's like, when we got married, like we didn't have nothing. We had no money. We had a daughter, a little tiny apartment, and like some of our best memories, she always talks about it. It's like some of our best memories where we didn't have money to go anywhere. Like, so all you did was wake up on Saturday and watch game day and like watch Tennessee football. And like, you loved Tennessee football. And she's like, I've watched you go from like anxiousness, nervousness, being heartbroken to apathy and like not caring. She's like, I'm happy for you. And that's what Gabe's talking about, Papa T. Like, we're all like-minded. This community, the people in this chat, the four of us here talking to each other, we're connected through a common bond of a love of Tennessee football. And there are way more important things. Faith, family. I could maybe throw food in there too. There's a lot of things that are more important than football. But dang it, if it doesn't bring people together, Papa T, it does. It really does.
It does. And my wife, we've been married 31 years. And she's seen me through a lot of heartache over the past couple of decades or whatever it is.
As a Tennessee fan,
with Tennessee. Because she's actually lived in Ohio, so she knows all the Buckeye songs. She played in a band. I had to get her converted because I'm like, can't bring that into the house. I'm sorry. That's just illegal, with us. But so now she wears orange and things of that nature. Her whole family wears orange. My son-in-law was a Clemson fan. He's wearing Tennessee orange now. My daughter got him converted. So everybody's rowing in the same direction now. But, there's been year after year of heartbreak, with Florida or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And she got to a point where she didn't even want to necessarily watch it because she saw me, in a sense, hurting after the game and I would kind of disconnect a little bit. So she just kind of, lay on me and you okay or whatever, because I'm trying to recover emotionally from the losses. And so this year, she's so excited, like you guys were saying, because she's seeing the team win. She's seeing what I've been talking about from the previous years when I was growing up and I was a little bit younger, is what I've experienced. She experienced 98 because we were together. But then, of course, it started, kind of going in the opposite direction after that. But now she's just jacked because she's so excited for me and for the program and what's taking place. And so she was excited to come to the game. She was excited to see the atmosphere and meet everybody. But she was also excited that everybody's getting a chance to experience these wins. Right. And what it's doing is creating even greater, bonds between us as a fan base, as a program, because, and like I said, I believe it all started with Coach Hype. When Coach Hype came in, he realized that, okay, one, I've got to be able to tackle my team, but two, I have a passionate fan base that needs healing as well. Because they've been through a lot. And so, but he had to start with the team. And he started with the team, and the team started buying in. He says, hey, it's going to be crazy out there. Block out the noise. We just got to go out here and do what we need to do. And winning solves everything.
You brought up a point earlier, and you were talking about when Coach Heupel came on. And Boogie, you and I have talked about this on this platform before. All the things that he was doing, the group building, the team building, and how much flack he caught for that. Oh, it's football. What are you doing? That is exactly what this team needed. This team did not have a leader prior to Coach Heupel coming in. And Coach Heupel came in, and that's what he saw. That is what Danny White saw when doing this coaching search. And he tried to avoid going down to where he just came from and bringing Josh Heupel from Central Florida to the University of Tennessee. But Josh Heupel was the man for the job. Josh Heupel was the man to come in and change that atmosphere, change that locker room. You've got guys that we talked about Al Wilson earlier. Boogie talked about Al Wilson was a guy that held his teammates accountable on the field. And I think you don't have that. I don't think it's as vocal from Hendon Hooker, but
exemplary.
From the top down, you see Josh Heupel doesn't panic. Josh Heupel doesn't get all worked up, and it flows downhill. Your quarterback, he's not getting all worked up. They're taking care of their business and not worrying about what their teammate beside him's doing because they're handling their business beside
exactly.
him. Everybody knows their role, and that's why this team is having success.
Right.
Like you said it earlier, rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I talked about the administration, everything, athletic department, the coaching staff, the continuity in this coaching staff from year 1 to year 2, I think is huge in the development of this team and where they are right now. And like I said, I don't know for back. I don't want to talk about back. I want to talk about here. We're here and now because that's what's exciting to me.
And I going back to again what Papa T said, my wife after the game said, thank God Tennessee won, because she did not want to see me after that. If we had lost that close of a game to Alabama, she knew how dejected I would have been. I think she first saw it after the Ole Miss game last year. I didn't sleep that night. I was just it was horrendous. So she afterwards she said thank goodness. You gotta be so thankful for somebody that's that supportive of, because she's not that into football, so she could look at my love of football and say, that's stupid, why do you care about that? But instead she says, you know what, I see you care about that and I care about you, so I'm gonna support you.
And that's what you need, man. That's what. Exactly. And this super chat, Crazy Nugs for 2 says, thank you, Miss Boogie, for letting Mr. Boogie do this. And like, look, the true story, reality, man. We had a conversation about 2 years ago, and I said, I think I have an opportunity to create something special, but you gotta give me space, and you gotta give me time, and let me go to work, and it's gonna be sacrifice. And we sacrifice day in and day out. What me, Dauber, even Gabe and Xavier and JP, everybody that contributes to this platform, we all sacrifice. We take time away from family, from friends, from going to games. It takes sacrifice, but dang it, man, the reward is worth it to build this community of people, to be able to sit on here with Papa T, to meet Gabriel, to meet Xavier, to meet so many cool people in this community. That's what it's all about. But it does start with my wife saying, I get it. I believe in you. Go get it. And that's what we've been doing, and we're blowing this thing up. We just hit 16,000 subscribers less than a week ago. Wow. Guess what? We're about 300 away from 17,000. No, wait, we're like 300 away from 17,000. Let's keep building this thing. Let's keep adding people like Papa. The chat's going nuts. They're demanding a Papa T emoji. Like, we'll get Papa T back. Me and Papa T been talking for a while about, hey man, need to get you on. Maybe fan call in. Maybe this. Maybe that. What? This was the perfect opportunity. You guys fell in love with Papa T. This is why I love Papa T. And it's never been anything but text, man. I know the type of person you are. I see your passion. I see, more importantly, your optimism, your positivity, what you bring to the community. Man, I love it. I appreciate you coming on. We got some super chats we're going to hit. Papa T, anything you want to say before we let you drop off here and we wrap up this show? The floor is yours. Give me a little something, and then we'll get you out of here, buddy.
Well, I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on. I appreciate everybody in the chat room and everybody that's connected to your program, man. You guys do an amazing job, Boogie, man. Really appreciate all the work you put in. You, Dauber, and everybody connected. Gabriel, I appreciate your time. I know you're way out in Texas. Been there, done that. I was in the Army, and so know how it is out there. But like I said, just enjoy all the things that you guys bring to the table. And it's great for me when I'm working. I work at the hospital. I come back and I'm like, what's going on with Tennessee football? And without a doubt, you got something there that I click on and kind of get it caught up, whether it's a commit or whatever it is. I just really appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity coming on. Hopefully, I get a chance to come on. And just to remind you guys, I truly believe this is the year of the volunteer. This is the Tennessee takeover. I've been saying it from the beginning of the season that this is a special year. It's a special team, and
never wavered.
I truly believe that we have an opportunity to go 12-0. I didn't want to mention it earlier, but I did put it out there tonight because I wanted to see the first 6 games. I wanted us to get to Alabama, and I said if we can beat Alabama and get that off of that monkey off our back and get past that, then I know that we can beat everybody else on our schedule, and to include Georgia, because Georgia's not unbeatable. All right. And our offense, I believe, and this is done, and like I said, this is why doing what they're doing right now without Cedric Tillman is so critical. You know, you've got Henry Hooker developing real good chemistry with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And when he already has, you know, good chemistry with Cedric Tillman. When you bring him back, then all it does is add to the greatness of that wide receiver core. It adds greatness to that offense. And truly, they get to a point where they're almost unstoppable because you can't bracket them. You have to play them, you know, because you're almost like picking your poison, and you know now that the other guy's going to kill you, you know. And so now it opens our offense up, and I can see us beating everybody else on our schedule, shocking the world, going to an SEC championship game, going to the playoffs, and have an opportunity to hoist that trophy. Not next year, 2 years down the road, you know, maybe within a 4 or 5 year this year, in this season, because of what kind of product he's put on the field, what type of culture he's created. And also, once again, a part of that victory last night was the fan base. That fan base disrupted everything that Alabama was trying to do, just like it disrupted everything for Florida. And so Alabama got a chance to experience that. And I'm excited about what the rest of this season, I mean, we got 6 more games, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. If we can stay healthy, if we can stay consistent, continue to get better every week, I think we can go and win a natty this year. Will it happen? I don't know, but I believe we have a shot. I truly believe we have a shot. And I appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate everybody on the chat. If you guys need anything, let me know. And hopefully my wife will let me get back on here another time. You know, and
appreciate you, Papa T. We appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all have a great night.
The chat loving it,
sir.
We got some lag there. The chat's loving it. The chat loves you. We appreciate you coming on, buddy. We'll get you back on, whether it's a Wednesday night. We typically just do a fan call-in show on Tuesday. Papa T's not a fan. Papa T's family. We'll get you on a Wednesday. I don't know if you're free Monday mornings. I'll be yelling at you, Papa T. I'll shoot you some messages, and we'll get you back on here. Absolute pleasure to finally talk face-to-face, buddy.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Go
Have
Vols,
a good night.
Man.
Go Vols,
See you, buddy.
All right, let me jam through some super chat. Holy cow. I've
great.
loved Papa T for a long time. Like, he is so full of positivity. I'm so glad he came on, and you guys got to see it. The chat has been eating it up. They've loved it. Let me jam through. We got quite a few super chats that I'll catch up on, and then we'll put a big old bow tie on this thing. Thomas made it for 5. I don't have anyone to share wins like that with except y'all on this channel. Thanks, guys. That's the beauty of this channel, man. It's not about us. It's about people keep throwing that word community around, and that's what we have built together. Whether it's me, Dauber, JP, Indy Kid Snake, Gabriel, Xavier, everybody that's ever been on this channel is a part of that. And I'm so proud, man. I'm so proud that we have a community. That word gets thrown around and doesn't necessarily always mean something. It means something here. Alex for 2. I'm glad Bryce Young played healthy. We are legit. Thank you for super chat. Robert Tuck for 5. I love living rent-free in the heads of Bama and Georgia fans. We are back. The Giant is awake now. Georgia and Bama fans fear us. I love it, man. I love the excuses from Alabama fans. It's a beautiful thing. Jody Wooten for 5. Since we beat them with Bryce Young, can the people that say we haven't beaten anyone please stop? No, we haven't. Alabama sucks. Florida sucks. LSU sucks. They all suck. We're great. They suck. We've not beat anybody. We're waiting for some competition to step up to the table. Robert Tuck for 5. Can't tell you how many people in Texas came up to me today telling me congratulations, and they were so glad we beat Bama. Fans from all fan bases. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier in Boone. So many people came up congratulating the Tennessee win. Mama Knox for 2. Coach Josh Heupel was the unlikeliest candidate to get us back. I love it. We kind of touched on that. Danny White said, I tried so hard to not hire Josh Heupel, but he was the man for the job. Ball fan for 5. Vols are back. I think we should get a bit of respect for the pride of the Southland. They grind and are too often in the shadow of everything. They bring the energy, man. They bring the energy. There's one of them in the chat that I love it, man. I love it. You guys keep bringing it every single week. Chris, for $20, that ain't cheap. This win over Bama bridged generations of Vol fans. Go big. Darn orange, he says. Thank you, Chris, for the $20. Mama Knox for 2. Hennon officially leaped Dobbs last night, in my opinion. I think so. I think he's up there, man. Will Murley for 5. Didn't JP say there would be a seat waiting for him on the postgame show the day we beat Bama? We do enjoy all the content. You have earned all of this. JP, I texted him today saying, hey, man, we're doing a random show tonight. Do you want to jump on? JP's on vacation. He was like, and I'm like, of course, Tennessee finally beats Alabama, and JP's out of town. So he'll probably be back, not this Wednesday, but probably next Wednesday leading into the Kentucky game. So he should be back for that. Luis Ortiz for 2. Doesn't have anything to say, just a $2 tip in the old tip jar. We appreciate it. Let me see, did I miss any? Let me scroll up. Holy cow. We're trying to wrap things up and get out the door, and you guys get weird. You guys get real weird. Real weird, but I love when you guys get weird, and I can get weird too. We're 2 hours in and about to wrap the show, and things get crazy. But the chat's going nuts. I'll give them a moment to scream about playing. They can scream about playing the clip. That's always fun. Micah Bush is the one that's getting weird. How crazy! Last night, you know how weird is it that YouTube limits, like $500 is the most you can super chat, right? So James Moody drops $500, and we think that's the top, and then people come in and they're like, what? No, I'm going to drop $500. So then we create the 500 club, and it's like anybody that drops $500, you can be in the club. James Moody gets so pissed that he signs on from 2 accounts and says, here's $1,000. It's my leaderboard. And then Micah comes in last night, and he's like, here's 500, here's 500, here's 500, $1,500. Micah's absolutely insane, but we appreciate it. Ron the Don for 5. Way back in the day, it used to be, woo, I can't believe we won that game. Now it's like, yeah, we will win that. I love it. I love the confidence. Micah becomes a member of the channel. How courteous, Michael, that you would drop, $2,000 in 2 nights, and then go ahead and join the channel. We appreciate that support, buddy. $500 super chat to send us out the door.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Do you guys know what else a $500 super chat deserves?
I mean, you probably could play a locker room song.
If you in this locker room, you try to say it with your heart. A one, two, three. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. Whole state of Alabama. Whole state of Alabama. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. We're from Tennessee.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Mike, I guess I can let Dollar back on the show. Sorry about that, Dollar. Micah for $500. Papa T is the man. Awesome guy. Thank you for sharing. Let's continue to get better. Take one day, one game at a time. Focus on correcting mistakes and focus on one game at a time. Go Big Orange 2022, the year, Vols year national champs. We take care of business. We are back. Love the channel so much. You all are a blessing. Well, Mike, you are a blessing to us, my man. You're very generous. The super chats that you send, I don't even know what to say, man. 500. That's a lot of money, and you are a blessing to us. And you give us the opportunity to hopefully make that transition to where we can continue to bring you guys more content. What a great night! What a great night. Let me here's another super chat here real quick. Colin for $5 says, sometimes I fill my bathtub with marinara sauce and pretend I'm a meatball.
I would have much rather ended on Micah's.
What is that?
I would have much rather ended on Micah's, but whatever. After Papa T coming on and Micah's and becoming a member, I feel like maybe we should have just ended.
We should have just wrapped the show.
One of the themes from tonight has been the community, relationships, and I mean here we are 3.5 hours into the post game, and notes
No
don't
notes.
mean a thing.
I told you to throw them out the window.
They don't mean a thing. We've not talked X's and O's or specifics of this football game. All we've talked about is the feeling that we have that has not died down since that ball squeaked its way over the uprights last night. This team is here. I'm not going to say back. I don't want to say
They're back. We're back.
I want to
We're
say
back.
here.
Finish.
Here.
Finish.
Finish. You're here. Finish. Let's go.
Hey, here's
What
the
a
beauty.
night.
Here's
What
the
a
beauty
night.
of it. Because of the way this channel's playing out right now and all the cast of characters that we have, and we got to figure out how to get Papa T on here more. Holy cow. Like whether it's Wednesday night, Monday morning, whatever it is. The beauty of it is that me and Gabriel are going to be right back here in 12 hours. 12 hours. You got time to go take a shower, go to sleep, and wake up and join me and Gabriel right here. But not only me and Gabriel. Here's Adrian for 2, says we need to work more on the option. Don't disagree, especially that little speed option. Get Dylan Sampson out there. Go take a shower, go take a nap, go to sleep, rest your eyes, and come right back here in the morning, 9 a.m. Eric Kane from VolQuest.com and Locked On Vols will be right here at 9 o'clock. I'm sure he'll give us 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to pick his brain. He was there live to take it in. I sent him a text. I'm going to pull it up right now just so I don't misquote him. Although I don't think I could really misquote him. I sent him a text pretty late in the night and said, holy poop. That's what I said. I said, holy poop is what I sent him. I said, holy poop. I said, I hope you're ready to create some magic next week. And he said, let's flogging go. That's what he said. Flogging is what he said. He said, let's flogging go. So I know Eric Kane is excited to come on here tomorrow morning and talk some Tennessee football. And then me and Gabriel will jump into some of the X's and O's and the storylines of the game. Because like Dauber said, we're 3.5 hours into the post game. We've not even talked about the game. But hey, we're riding the high. Knoxville will for 5. Nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the support. One last time.
I'll throw it out there. And Tuesday, if you're not a member, join right now so you can come on Tuesday and talk about. Maybe we'll talk about the game Tuesday. I don't know. Maybe
Tuesday's going to be nuts.
We'll still be celebrating.
It's going to be nuts. I'm telling you, the first half of the week is all Alabama. And then around Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to skip right over to UT Martin and start talking about Kentucky. Knoxville will for
about Alabama.
What?
We're Kentucky's daddy.
Knoxville's
Kentucky's daddy.
Knoxville will for another 5. We go undefeated. Does Hooker pass Peyton? If they win a natty, Hooker will go down as the greatest quarterback in Tennessee history. Mark my words. That's what's going to happen. One last time, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. This is it. This is your last opportunity. Go ahead and shut off the stream. Click the link, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. As soon as we wrap, I'm going to Bonfire and shutting this down. It's over. This is your last chance to get the Buck Fama limited edition shirt. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link's in the description below. Mark Wilson 2 for 5. We need a fan-led live stream of the games during the game. Oh, we can't do that. And that's, Joel that's always in the chat mentioned one time, hey, man, I want to come on and do a halftime show. We can't do that. Number one, we only get X number of notifications per day. So if I drop a video in the morning, we do a tailgate show, post-game show, that middle part would kill the notification for the post-game show. But in addition to that, it is what it is, man. There are certain people that are going to be on this channel, and I'm not just handing over the keys to the car. That's what Tuesday's for. Tuesday is so you guys have a voice. What's up, Seth? Good to see you in the chat, buddy. $2 says UT versus Georgia will be number 1 versus number 2. Sign me up for that. Going to be an epic night, Seth. Good to see you in the chat, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Get the Buck Family shirt. It's going to be gone in about 10 minutes. But that's going to do it for this one. Holy crap, my voice is about gone. What a great night. Epic 2-hour live stream. Loved every second of it. For Dauber, for Gabriel, my name is Boogie Bentley. We will see you guys in the morning at 9 a.m. for the Talkin VAWLS morning show. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. I'm sending you out with this one last time.
If you in this
time alive.